Hello everyone, this is a Varus guide. This video will include abilities, masteries, matchup, item order, pros, and cons. First, look at the pros. Super versatile in builds like runes. Great team fight potential. Really good in 1v1 or 1v2. Has no bad matchup in lane. Strong in early, mid, late game. High carry potential. And now look at the cons. Lack of mobility. Skill shot dependent. Hard to play and harder to master. Hard to come back when behind. Weak to all in. Requires game knowledge. Now, let's take a look at the Varus Mastery page together. Here, you can make adjustments according to your own playstyle. First Strike is the real one-shot keystone for Varus. When you use Ultimate WQ on an enemy, you can get insane amounts of gold and bonus damage. Magical Footwear is the best option here, simply because Hextech Flash Traption and Perfect Timing are not worth taking if you are not going to build Zhonya's Hourglass. It saves you 300 gold and provides you some bonus movement speed. Biscuit Delivery is a great rune for Varus because the biscuits don't only restore your mana, but also increase your max mana permanently. If you see that you don't need them anymore at some point of the game, just sell them as you still get the max mana increase. Cosmic Insight is an underrated rune and very good for any champion, because with it gives you access to flash 20 seconds earlier, which is a really good buff for you. It also lowers your item's passive's cooldowns, which is really good for you. Depending on the opponent's situation and the game's composition, you can make these selections. You can choose Tear of the Goddess, Health Potion, and Stealth Ward as your starting items. After first base back, for your early item pick, you can go for Blasting Wand for ability power. Up to 20 minutes, you can consider purchasing Nazhor's Tooth, Sorcerer's Shoes, and Luden's Tempest. For your full build, after getting Seraph's Embrace recently, you can continue with Rabadon's Deathcap and Morellonomicon. This is a passive ability. When Varus kills an enemy, he gains temporary attack speed. The amount is increased for champion takedowns. This passive is not very useful when playing AP Varus, because if you get into a fight, you won't auto-attack the enemies a lot, maybe a few attacks with Hail of Blades, and after a kill, you won't be going to get another with auto-attacks. This is a Q ability. Varus draws back his next shot, slowing himself down. If not used after 4 seconds, Varus cancels the ability and refunds 50% of its mana cost when, if released. Varus releases the arrow, dealing damage to enemies hit. Damage and blight effects are increased based on the charge time. This is your main ability to use to detonate blight stacks, because the damage increase makes it much more effective. This is a W ability, passive. Varus's auto attacks deal additional magic damage and apply a blight stack for 6 seconds, max 3 stacks. Varus's other abilities detonate the stacks dealing max health damage as magic damage. This is your main source of damage because it has a great AP scale and can one-shot nearly any champion in the game. Your ultimate gives the enemies all the 3 stacks within its duration, so getting the stacks is very easy with your ultimate. This is a E ability. Varus fires a hail of arrows that deal physical damage and desecrate on the ground. Desecrated ground slows the enemy's movement speed and healing and regeneration by 40%. This ability is mostly for melee range fights as AP Varus because it detonates blight stacks but doesn't require channeling to perform. Like Piercing Arrow, Hail of Arrows also doesn't have any AP scaling. This is a ultimate. Varus flings out a Tendril of Corruption, rooting the first champion hit for 2 seconds and dealing magic damage to them. Rooted enemies gain max blight stacks over the duration. The corruption spreads from its target to uninfected enemy champions. If it reaches them, they take the same root and damage. Your ult is your only real ability that has an AP scale, which is very good as it can deal a ton of damage in the late game. When the enemies have the max blight stacks, they are extremely easy to one-shot.